This is my Stardew Valley perfection run. I've named my farmer Haley because I momentarily forgot that Haley exists somehow. Feel free to roast me. I've chosen the wilderness farm because I've never played it before. On my first day on the farm, I opened a package of parsnip seeds and began clearing some space to plant my first seeds. Once I had all my seeds planted and watered, I started clearing more space on my farm by removing some weeds and cutting down trees, which I used to make my first chest. Then I collected my first forageables while I made my way into town to meet some of the villagers. It was at this moment I realized my name faux pas. Wouldn't it be cool if she acknowledged that we had the same name? At the beach, I collected my first artifact and received my bamboo fishing pole. Since I'm terrible at fishing, I opted to buy the training rod at Willie's before even trying to fish. And then I fixed the little wood bridge to access the rest of the beach. On Thursday, I harvested some carrots, and on Friday, my parsnips were ready. I sold some of my parsnips to Pierre and used the money to upgrade my backpack. Next, I went to the mines, donated a few items to the museum, and got cauliflower seeds from Gunther. I popped those into the ground and made my first scarecrow. Then I went to investigate the community center where I saw some cute creatures and found a mysterious plaque. On Saturday, I made it to level 10 in the mines and received some leather boots. I paid a visit to the wizard in his tower where he gave me a strange drink and I lost touch with reality for a bit. On the 8th of spring, I made it to level 20 in the mines and received a steel smallsword. Then I completed the spring foraging bundle in the community center and unlocked the pantry and the fish tank. On the 9th, I finally started fishing for the first time and caught a sunfish, which I immediately donated to the river fish bundle in the community center. Marnie came by with a cat and asked me to adopt it, which is an obvious yes. Meet Nugget. I won my first egg hunt at the Egg Festival, earning myself a straw hat, and then entered the dreaded dark floors in the mines. On spring 17, I ventured into the cindersap forest and found a little pot of gold and a leprechaun hat. And then I went to the community center and finished the spring crops bundle. On spring 25, I made it to level 40 in the mines, leaving behind those awful dark floors. And then I finished the Adventurers bundle. Summer year 1 started with planting coffee beans, melons, wheat, peppers, tomatoes, and blueberries. I quickly completed the summer foraging bundle, and on summer 7, a mysterious green rain scared the villagers. I collected loads of fiber and moss from all the extra growth on my farm, and then went to the saloon to see how everyone was doing. Next, I made it to level 80 in the mines. And then I completed the ocean fish bundle, the summer crops bundle, the blacksmith's bundle, the exotic forage bundle, and the geologist bundle, completing the boiler room. Junimo's repaired the minecarts, so now I have a quicker way around town. I went to the Trout Derby on the 21st, where I got my first ancient seed. I took that to Gunther and got the recipe for ancient seeds and an ancient seed to plant. Now I can find mystery boxes. I love this cutscene. On Summer 23, I made it to level 100 in the mines and got my first star drop. Next, I completed the construction bundle, and then I finished summer at the Dance of the Moonlight Jellies. On the second day of fall, I reached the bottom of the mines and found the Skull Key. I completed the Fall Forage bundle and the Winter Forage bundle, completing the craft room. This got me access to the quarry. Next, I completed the Crab Pot bundle, the Lake Fish bundle, the Fall Crops bundle, the Artisan bundle, and the Night Fishing bundle. At the Stardew Valley Fair, I got my next star drop. And beat Pierre with my display. I completed the Field Research bundle and the Fodder bundle. And then I completed the Vault. and got the bus repaired. I unlocked the Skull Cavern, and then I immediately got knocked out on floor 14. I was not ready for the Skull Cavern. At the Spirits Eve festival, I completed the maze and found a golden pumpkin. I finished fall by completing the dye bundle and the animal bundle. I met Krobus on Winter 1 and found the prismatic slime on Winter 4. I gave the prismatic jelly to Rasmodius, and then I met a bear in the secret woods. I gave him some maple syrup so he wouldn't eat me, and he loved it. As I was dumpster diving, I found a cool hat, so I put it on and went to the quarry mine to get the golden scythe. At the Festival of Ice, I won the fishing contest, and at the night market, I got a pearl from the mermaid show. At the Feast of the Winter Star, Shane gave me a pink cake. It's no tea set, but I do love the pink cake. In Spring Year 2, I got my first prismatic shard from a geode, so I took it to the desert and stood between the pillars to receive the Galaxy Sword. Now I'm a little more ready for the Skull Caverns. I went to the Desert Festival, where Emily gave me some new outfits and I got knocked out in the Skull Cavern without completing my challenge. I tried again the next day, but failed because I ran out of time. On day 3, I tried to collect Omni Geodes, but again, I failed. On Spring 18, I completed the Riverfish bundle and the Chef's bundle the next day. At my second flower dance, Haley danced with me, and then I saw a possum at the bus stop. Summer day 2, I finished the specialty fish bundle and completed the fish tank. Then the Junimos removed the glittering boulder. At the luau in year 2, I delighted the governor with my amazing mayonnaise soup, and then I completed the quality crops bundle. This was the last bundle I needed for the pantry. And then I finished the Enchanters bundle, which completed the bulletin board and the entire community center. Morris was not very happy about the community center being finished because all of his customers were not at his store. Pierre was feeling a little bit smug, so I watched them duke it out the old-fashioned way. Now that Joja Mart was closed down forever, there's just one last bundle we need to complete before we can move on. Next, I bought another star drop from Krobus. And then I went to the mutant bug lair and found the dark talisman. I placed that in this mysterious green box and ventured into the witch's swamp, where I took an absurdly long time to catch the void salmon because I'm truly terrible at fishing.
One eternity later.
I gave a void mayo to the henchman so that he would let me into the witch's hut. I grabbed the wizard's lost magic ink and got a haircut. Then I returned the ink to the wizard. He asked some uncomfortable questions. And then gave me access to his catalog. This way I can build the obelisks and the golden clock that are needed for perfection. Willie showed me his boat in the back room. And then I got another star drop in the secret woods. I finally got all my skills to level 10. And then I caught my first legendary fish, the angler. Next, I headed into the sewer to catch the mutant carp. And then I donated the materials to get Willie's boat fixed. I went straight to Ginger Island the next day. and began my search for golden walnuts. I unlocked the island farm and started gathering items to donate to the island field office. I made it halfway through the volcano and gave the parrot 5 golden walnuts to open the exit. On the last day of fall, I almost made it to the top of the volcano, but I passed out on level 9. I forgot the trick to getting this walnut and just went in swinging. Somehow it worked. I finally made it to the top of the volcano. I grabbed the golden walnuts that were at the top of the volcano. And then I got a free prismatic shard. I used that at the forge and got the vampiric enchantment. The golden walnuts at the forge gave me enough to repair the island farmhouse. The next day, I found more golden walnuts, and then I forged my sword with a ruby. I made it down to level 100 of the Skull Cavern, the honorable way, where Mr. Key gave me a questionable drink. Soon after, I had enough golden walnuts to get the island trader. And then I headed back to the valley, where I finally succeeded at Squidfest. I went to the Mastery Cave and claimed the rewards for combat mastery. Then I went to Lewis's house and left him a little gift. I asked Krobus to be my roommate. And then I put a super cucumber in the box behind the blacksmith. Next, I hooked another legendary fish and fought it for an eternity. You can really see how bad I am at fishing here. Eventually, I did catch the glacier fish. I put a battery inside the box in the tunnel, and then on Ginger Island, I finished the snake exhibit in the field office. Next, I put some duck mayo in the box in the back room of the saloon. This thing gave me a jump scare every time I came back to the saloon hereafter. When Spring Year 3 began, Grandpa's ghost visited me to tell me how proud he was of my farming abilities. and his shrine lit up with 4 candles. This was my first time getting all 4 candles by spring year 3. I decided the strange capsule wasn't quite enough for Lewis, so I put his crimes on display in his front yard. After a very long fight, I caught the legend. And then I finished the missing bundle. And the old Joja Mart was transformed into a movie theater. Next, I had the parrots build the island resort. And then I eventually caught the crimson fish. I collected fish from these crab pots, and that finished my fish collection. And then I used some hardwood to fix up this tree stump into a little house. I went to my first movie. And then I got a star drop in the mail from Willie. I spent an unholy amount of time on this puzzle on Ginger Island. And then I was allowed into the walnut room. On the next rainy day, I completed this puzzle on East Beach. And then I completed the Danger in the Deep quest. I got some galaxy souls and took them to the forge to get the Infinity Blade. And then I threw a strange doll into the lava on floor 100 of the mines. I took that gem to the wizard's basement and got my favorite sword. I love this crossover. It's so cute. I took it to the forge to merge it with my Infinity Blade so that it would look like Meowmere. And then I completed the monster eradication goals. Next, I built the return obelisk on the island farm. And then I survived these horrible, more dangerous skull caverns with these terrible, terrible serpents. And then I finished the donations at the field office, earning the recipe for an ostrich incubator. In spring year 4, I completed the Mastery Cave. And the museum. This earned me another star drop. In fall, I built the desert totem, found some key beans, and got my first giant crop while completing Key's crop quest. That winter, I fed the trash bear, and he cleaned up the valley. In spring of year 5, I built the island obelisk, the earth obelisk, and the water obelisk. That summer, I cooked the last meal I needed for perfection. And then that fall, I decided Lewis needed some slimes at his house. After grinding for money for a while, I finally built the golden clock in fall of year 6, completing my perfection run. This took me 142 hours, and I loved every minute of it. If you made it this far, thanks for joining my Stardew Valley perfection run. Let me know in the comments how quickly you achieved perfection or if you're still working on it. And subscribe for more Stardew Valley videos. Bye!